and it's lights out and away we go here in Formula Sundays. Through the final chicane, and the AlphaTauri hits the wall of champions. Welcome back everybody, and welcome to another weekend of Formula Sundays racing action. This time around we're going to be in Portugal here. Portimao is the place of the action. Rainy qualifying apparently, and well, as usual, starting off in the Challenger tier. And this week around, the casting booth, we have the man, the myth, the Herbie.
Yes, this track is almost as wet as I am to see some Challenger tier action. 12 drivers is a bit less than I would have hoped, but it's not too shabby for a watchable event. A couple of newcomers in here mixed in with the old favourites. I've missed a couple of races, so tell me how the Challenger standings are looking at the moment.
Forcing me to whip out my phone and look them up. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm pretty certain
right,
Kingsman is in the lead.
Well, we knew this.
Yeah, we knew this pretty much. You say not too many drivers here. I am actually delighted to see drivers who won't score points, because we had sub 10 drivers for the last 3 races or something. So let me see the standings.
You say you're delighted to have drivers that won't score points, but it only takes 2 DNFs.
3. We are on 13 people then.
13? Oh, is there someone not here yet? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, rain is also going away, so we're gonna see dry quali in the end. But at least we're getting some content by some drivers going out. Behind Kingsman, it's actually relatively close still. Tianche, Diddy, and Astral are not that far apart. Fabian is also still up in the mix. And, well, especially given that Tianche is now starting to race again, as she missed out on the last, I think, 3 races. Maybe 2. With controller issues. Championship fight, I wouldn't necessarily say might become pretty interesting still, but yeah, at least the fight for P2 is going to be quite nice.
Okay. We've already had a DNF in quali. Not sure what happened there.
That's most likely a bug.
Ninja Extremo not going to get a go.
Yep. Very unfortunate for the Ferrari driver making his debut here tonight. You said it in the start, we have a couple of newcomers here. Crush, I have not seen before, driving with Tianche tonight. Ninja Extremo, who we just mentioned, experiencing a bug unfortunately. And Vexilt, who we are on board with right now. All coming into this for the first race.
Yeah, it is Tianche, I believe, though, who is at the front of the queue and will set the first lap time.
Right, let's do her the honors instead, and see how she can do. Of course, with the info we have from the Twitch chat, it is apparently drying up towards the end of it, so we can really expect PBs to roll through in the very end.
Yeah. We do like that. Actually, do we like that? Does that mean people only get 1 run on slicks?
Yes, presumably it's gonna be like... I mean, of course, you can drive for pole position for the flex, right?
Basically, the driving that you do now is pointless.
Oh, yeah, well. Sorta. Admittedly, though, I mean, I guess like you will be able to improve a lot in the very end. But if you like go over track limits or like spin, because the track is still gonna be wet, ish off the racing line. So if you do like one tiny mistakes in slick, you're just gonna be gone. Yeah.
Tell me about Portimao. I see 2 DRS zones, the start-finish straight, of course, which is hella long.
Yep.
And there is another one in Sector 2. Is there anything else that I should know about this track?
It has crazy elevations, I mean, which is probably apparent to you if you watch the cars going around this. This is very steep and very often changing elevations for an F1 track. And whenever there is a driving like over a little bit of a I don't know, of a hill when you hit the apex, you have high chances to spin. So
okay.
it is a track that is relatively hated by a lot of drivers because you can spin so easily. I quite like it personally because it flows very well and feels like very natural with all the elevation changes. And it has some decent side-by-side racing opportunities through Sector 2 as well. But yeah, that's how I would describe this track.
Well, through the first run of lap times, Kingsman has established himself a very healthy lead of just under a second over the newcomer Vexel. Crush is still yet to set a lap time, so is Tutor. Tutor does not appear to be on a hot lap, but Crush is. Doesn't look like they could be challenging the top times, but they could be about to find themselves somewhere in the P6 region. Oh, P4 actually, not bad.
Yeah, not too far ahead from P6. I think, like, apart from Kingsman, everybody is nicely separated by a tenth or so. Up until we
there's Fabian. Oh, and well, that time from Tutor needs work, shall we say.
Oh, 207, yeah, a little bit of a scouting the track conditions run. But I think we can see it in the rain already. It's like becoming lighter and lighter. And I do also think Tutu is now gonna try another hot lap. What up, Mr. Seagull?
Is my volume up loud enough, by the way?
I have no idea, honestly. I have not heard any complaints.
Fabulous.
Fabulous indeed. So, yeah. I think rain has completely stopped now, which is quite early. Might even try and get 2 soft runs in here, honestly. If I remember correctly, this track is super ERS hungry. So it's very hard to build up ERS. I might be misremembering here though. I'm surely gonna be corrected by the 2 people who actually know shit about this game in the chat. Yes, ERS is hard. Okay, cool. Yeah, I remembered like that you basically only gain like 5-ish% if you don't activate it at all. So it's like very, very hard to get a good battery charge going, and if you're not good at managing, you're gonna be running around with an empty tank for a lot of time.
Well, that's going to make the elite race interesting. Those drivers competing at the very top end.
Yeah, here as well. I mean, it could really set you apart if you drive well enough to keep some of your energy for the crucial stages of the race. You will have it way easier to overtake, as I think most of the field is just gonna run out of energy fairly soonish. I'm not sure about speed.
He just like me for real.
Yeah. I mean, not sure about like the pit lane here. I mean, you recharge a lot more in the pits, of course, but I'm not quite sure how long it is and whether pitting more often is worth it on this track. I have heard advices to stay away from the hard tire here, as it is apparently horrible. So I'm curious about strategies.
Oh, Phantom Minima's done the fastest lap in the meantime, as we are just about at the midway point of the quali session. And this is not a good start for the Alpha Tauris, but of course there is plenty of time to turn it around.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably why the interlaps are still sort of important, right? Even though the track's getting faster and faster, like you at least have a decent time on the board and are ahead of the people who are not able to set a good time neither.
Well, you want to iron out the mistakes in the first couple of runs that you do as well, especially if you haven't practiced beforehand. Like, you don't want to be going into that one lap at the end where you need to set your good time, but you know there's still a couple of corners that you're not really confident about.
Dinsky and Seagull trying to sell hard tires in chat. As if we weren't aware that they are horrible.
Oh, look. Visit our sponsor.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah, please take the hearts. Okay, yeah, apparently, well, usually I think the people would show you tire allocation here, and the tires are one step harder than usual, generally. So that might be the hardest component of all, right? If it's, I think it's 5 compounds. Usually you have 2, 3, 4. This might be 3, 4, 5, and
I don't know. I liked it better when they had the colours.
oh yeah, honestly, sort of. I mean, it doesn't really change much. It makes it simpler to follow if you don't know, but if you know, it's harder.
Makes perfect sense.
DRS active. So I think from now on, I think usually in the old games, DRS activation.
I take it the track must be drying up a little bit already for these increases in times, because it's going up a fair bit.
Yeah, I think it has stopped raining about 3 minutes ago now. If I'm looking at the racing line from Ocean's car, it's not really visibly dry. But usually when DRS gets activated by the FIA, I guess, it's good enough to go for softs here.
Ooh. Crush just went a little bit sideways there, but they move.
Phantominum is actually on an outlap on soft tires. And so is Nitro currently setting a purple sector 2 on softs. So I think the age of the Inters is over.
Well, that means you could squeeze out 2 runs then, probably.
Yeah. I think that's what you probably should do. The conditions right now are kind of bad, so like the last run will beat this run regardless if it is of similar quality.
Gets a little bit of heat into the soft tires, though.
Yeah, but the main issue is ERS. You don't have enough energy to get 2 quick laps in. Because you use like about 80% on 1 lap here. Let's see, Daddy is 1.1 seconds faster in the first sector already.
Let's go, Daddy!
And it's only gonna snowball more in sectors with more turns, like this second one. Kinda losing grip there a tiny bit. I think still gonna be a good.
These inputs make it look like he's on keyboard. I don't know what he plays on, actually. I reckon it is keyboard.
Nah, it's surely controller. Right?
Or is it Cherry? Cherry that does keyboard.
Nah, I don't think we have anybody on keyboard anymore. Or does he play like Rocket League on keyboard as well?
Cherry does play Rocket League on KBM, so...
Okay. And there you with provisional pole, yeah.
Yes, I think that figure is going to come tumbling down as soon as Kingsman gets 1 in. He's still set just the 1 lap time so far, and it's still in the middle of the pack.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting, honestly. I am not quite sure what the projected time for dry tires would be here. I mean, this track is probably still colder than optimal how do you call it? Optimal conditions. So it's probably not gonna be quite the peak gaming times, but I thought...
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. You can go into the 119s, no? 16 would be a really good time for Charlie. Okay, it's even faster. Okay.
16!
Yeah. I mean, wet track is way slower. A track temperature has like such a huge impact. I expect at least 2 seconds still tumbling down here by the end of quali. We could watch what Kingsman is doing right now. He has started his hot lap, and honestly for him, the track almost looks entirely dry again. Rapid will get low 15. Okay, crazy. Kingsman and Tiancha can apparently do 16.3 in good conditions. Let's see, Fabian is also on our top.
And so is Astral. He's up by 2 seconds already after sector 1.
Fabian kind of bottled that turn. Let's see. Oh no, that's Kingston, the other one. Astral. Has also missed out a couple of races, if I remember correctly. So nice to have him back here. 5 seconds faster. Already on par.
Could say he's improving a little bit.
Yeah. Already on par with Fanta's time, and is probably gonna improve a little bit upon it.
Yeah, as soon as he gets into these the long straight, that delta is going to start coming.
Oop, and it is the first 119 of the evening. I expect more. Fabian not quite breaching the 119s. 120 low is decent for now as well, especially if one or the other driver fails their good run attempt.
And Mr. Genio will be the next to cross the line.
And he has a Red Bull ahead of him. Oh yeah, who parked on the apex there to get out of the way. Nicely done.
Doesn't look like this is going to be ahead of Astral's time.
This finish line is not far away.
Maybe.
So, an entire second ahead. 118 for Mr. Gagne. Looking good here. Utua does not have much energy and fuel left. I wonder if he can finish this lap. Otherwise, starting from that far back would be a shame.
The speed at which people come into this last bend is kind of throwing me a little bit. It's much quicker than I was expecting looking at the track map at the start.
Yeah, it's pretty much, well, it's one long right-hand corner that gets wider and wider. It's kind of awkward to drive it, but like as soon as you can, you step on the pedal and then like full speed the entire thing through.
Yeah. Well, Kingsman has put up a 1:17.4 as we approach the final 30 seconds.
Daddy's gonna get another try as well. He has been doing pretty well with just staying out of trouble for most of it in the last few races. Has gotten a couple of P4 and 3s. Another 1.2 seconds up on his time. I mean, of course, he's 5 seconds down off Kingsman right now. Vexiled with a 17.7, also looking very good. Our newcomers currently in good form, apart from, of course, Ninja, who couldn't unfortunately settle up at all.
Yeah, it's tough.
Three seconds up for Daddy. Currently looking at a 119-ish. Of course, traction in this last turn, as said before, the sooner you can get on the throttle again for full speed, the better it looks. And he's gonna gain a little bit more time here as well. I think this is gonna be a high 18. Oh, no, actually 18 flat. So in P5 now. Not too bad. Who else is still going? Pixels, but he is far down. Fanta? Oh, Fanta is also 3 seconds up. Which he needs to be, I guess. Not set a good time yet. And Tiensha also did not manage to improve at all. Phantominum on pole here. Tutu is just parked. Not quite sure what's going on with him.
That is a bold strategy.
And he is disqualified for parking in a dangerous location. Enough. But yeah, nice lap by Fantominum in the end, sniping away Kingsman and Nitro as well, beating Kingsman by half a tenth. Very, very close call in the end, and of course getting it on the track when it actually mattered. So,
very nice.
Yeah. Well, Tiancha and Tutor will have it all to do. Tutor last week, did he win? Honestly, oh man, I forgot, but he did do very well, that much I can remember. Yeah, two very quick drivers starting from very far down the grid here. A good track for overtakes, as mentioned before, even though ERS management is hard. ERS straights and the ability to race side by side through the turns is given. And yeah, Fantominum on pole, Kingsman only in the second row. Can be an interesting start.
Yes, hopefully no deaths too early on in this one.
Yeah, we want our deaths to come later.
Yeah,
we want
you're
to
damn
build
right.
up the drivers to build up the hope for a good finish, just to have it crushed. I mean,
yeah, listen, a good book has a start, a beginning. Wait, it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Not a start and a beginning.
Yeah, it's a start and an end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, Martin is not racing, so I doubt we're gonna see many people in the wall today.
Ouch.
Yeah, he knows, it's okay. But yeah, Tiancha podium, okay. Eagle saying Kingsman ahead of Tiancha. Any predictions from you? I mean, we have some newcomers that seem to be fairly quick, that are hard to judge, but we of course have a lot of the old guys in here as well.
Well, Kingsman should win. I think anything other than a Kingsman win would, of course, be a surprise.
Ooh,
I'll go with him from... I'll say Kingsman, Fantominum, and then Vexel completing the podium.
Alright, Kingsman with a banging start here, already grabbing P2, and the AlphaTauris now brought together. And well, who is it in last position being spun around? It's our boy. Well, Kingsman, trying to go around the outside of Fante here. It's the move you can very well do. A little bit off track. I wonder if the game wants him to give back the position, and it looks like he did, because he did back out completely. And, well, Fantominum and Kingsman with a strong start. Turn 8 here, treacherous. Kingsman almost spun as well. But the top two are kind of getting away from the rest of the field quite well.
A fairly decent run for everyone but Fabian, unfortunately.
Yep.
And Fantominum has done a good job so far of holding off Kingsman, although of course no DRS yet, so it's not too difficult to manage that.
Yeah, we may see how long that is actually gonna stand. I'm not even sure if he gets to the DRS at all. Oh, overtake. Oh, not the best camera angle. Okay, no, there's ghosting cars here. Nitro in Vexeled for a second. No overtake there. No. Was there an overtake? I'm not sure. I think Vexeled got through in the end. Another lockup by Fantominum brings Kingsman very close to his rear again. Really looking for that overtake, and there must have been some sort of collision there. Mr. Genya losing a bunch of positions, Ninja Extremo as well, and Tiancha, the smiling fourth, I guess, gaining a bunch of positions through that. Well,
I'm not sure at the moment. This train goes on.
yeah, I mean, DRS is gonna be a thing next lap, so there's gonna be at least some overtaking on the straights. Vexit looks super quick here, honestly. Wonder if he's like, okay, he has used all of CRS already. But he did gain about 2 seconds, I think, on the leading two, and there's now a huge gap between the top three and Nitro in fourth. And there is another spin. Mr. Genya here losing some more positions further down. Yeah, the cars have not really been staying on track much. Light contact there between Kingsman and Fantominum, but he ultimately, nothing happened. I don't think Kingsman got damage from that neither. And yeah, for now it's just consistency. Trying to keep it together here. There's another overtaking spot for Kingsman, but he's not quite close enough this time around. And send one up into the next turn as well. But yeah, he just waits for the DRS, I think. And then we're likely gonna be seeing a move into turn 1, which is rather dangerous, to be honest. Because it's a very quick turn. Not much space to go there through there side by side. Hard to see as well, because it's like behind this strong downhill after the start finish straight. I think this should be easily done and dusted for Kingsman.
Yeah, decent move from him, and he pulls clear, entering the second and third turns. Astral picking up a penalty there.
Yeah, it's the first one for him. Running wide here is fairly easy. There's a bunch of turns where you can gain a lot of time if you just take a little bit more of the outside curb. And yeah, apparently Astral has been doing that quite a lot so far. Nitro gaining back a little bit of the time. It's no longer a 2-second gap, instead it's now 1.3 seconds again.
Love the bump on the start finish straight, and if you go over it, you get a track limit. Oh dear.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware of that. Okay, interesting. Cutting the track on a straight. Also an interesting thing. Well, Genshin Astral. Likely gonna be engaging in some friendly battling soon, because I think Tianxia should have the upper hand on pace of the drivers ahead. Astral and Daddy are just about to be battling some as well. Astral already side by side. Hard to overtake here in this DRS train, I guess. Yeah, and Astral does not make it side by side. Maybe it's set up. Maybe Daddy has more top speed. But McLaren couldn't quite pull through.
Abian has also arrived at the back of the grid and might be looking to apply some pressure on Ninja, but there's already some seconds developing up to P9. That will be a bit of a concern for him.
Yeah, I mean the race is long, of course. It's the good thing about Fabian in these scenarios is he experiences them pretty much every race, so he has a lot of experience of how to handle his race from now on.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna be aware that driving consistent pace is gonna get him some positions sooner or later, because especially on this track, Jimster said before, is one of the hardest in the game because you can spin in so many places. Yeah. He's just gonna do his thing. I think he's gonna get the Ferrari soon. It's hard to defend if you're not in a DRS train for this long straight. And then we're gonna see some position changes there. Oh god, I would have loved to have seen that. This apparently was a 3 wide into turn 1 there between the two AlphaTauris and Astral. With no, it wasn't two AlphaTauris, a Haas AlphaTauri and Astral. And ultimately it's gonna be Daddy on top and Astral going through Ocean as well, losing 2 positions very quickly there. Shit.
Oh, there's contact at the back of the grid. It's Ninja and Fabian.
I was just about to say,
Doesn't
oh
look
damn.
like there's any damage. It was just a coming together.
Yeah, was just about to say, one did not want to miss the move by Fabian, but well, when we saw them, they were both standing. Mr. has spun, which will bring him a little bit closer to Fabian here again. Spun in turn 8, I think. And well, further up, I think Astral is going to be attacking Ocean now. Ocean trying to break the slipstream, but honestly, I think this just lost him a whole bunch of speed. And Astral is just gone.
Yeah, Ocean could now be coming under some pressure from Crush as well, who is in the mix, but has pulled clear as they head towards Sector 2, so
Wait,
Ocean will sit P7.
What happened to Tianxia? Did you see something? Wasn't she like P9 or something and ahead of Crush?
Seagull says Tianxia got spun, not sure by who.
Ah, okay. Yeah, must have been Mr. Genya then, or? No, Mr. Genya I think was too far behind. I'm not sure. Oh, she
Well,
was
if
in
you're
the
not sure,
incident with
what hope
Astral
do I
and
have?
the AT, okay. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
When they were like going 4 wide into turn 1. Yeah, I did not register that. Oh well. Top 3 still running together here. Kingsman leading the way, not under much threat by the 2 behind him so far. At all, I think. And yeah, I don't know, so far it has quieted down a little bit. Crush could be going for a overtake on Ocean here as DRS, but it's not close enough at all. That second DRS straight, not really long, you have to be very close in the approach to it to even make a move by the end of it. Yeah, Kingsman.
Yes, we're about a third of the way through the race now, and no deaths to be fair. I thought there would have been at least one safety car by now, but who knows? Maybe the drivers are cleaning things up.
Crush there almost caused one. Was headed for the wall for a brief moment, but then caught his car. Trying to go for an overtake there, lost control and kinda slid away. I think Gensha though is gonna be the next one to go for a potential move, and Tuto does not respect her at all. Gensha here with the spin. Wonder how that happened though. I think like at the point where she actually spun, there was nowhere, like no contact to be seen. Maybe she got like a puncture from it or something. Seagull saying my Tianxia prediction might not happen. Yeah, I'm not sure. Surely she's gonna get P2 still.
I'm quite liking this podium at the moment. Just need a swap of Phantom and Vexel.
Yeah, which can happen at any point, I guess. I mean, for Fanta it would be great, of course, if Kingsman would pull away. It makes Vexels alone a way easier target to overtake for P2.
Is this similar to Elite though, in the sense that the drivers are just sort of biding their time with DRS? Like, there's no need to make a move right now, so they just don't.
Honestly, I can remember only quite... oh lord. Phantominium is gonna get a penalty for that, most likely. He's just rear-ended Kingsman into the pits, and thus Kingsman got a 5-second time penalty for speeding.
Obviously.
Oh, that will get removed. Yeah, sure. True, actually. We can just remove that. If he doesn't pit again, of course. Phantominum in real time saying, sorry, Kingsman, in the Discord. You put your phone away, man. Yeah, okay, that makes it interesting. I mean, Kingsman then probably has to be looked at without the time penalty, as he was quite clearly slow enough. A couple of guys have already pitted here. Astral and Tutor, and Astral is now running into Ninja Extremo and looking for a move. Not quite yet, though. Low flags. Fabian briefly spun all on his own. Or at least had an off-track moment. Slight contact there between Astral and Ninja. Next turn is another move, or turn where you can make a move. And so is this one. Astral really wants to get past, but yeah. Doors being closed from all angles. I think right now on the outside he might have a chance to get better traction. But the Ferrari stays ahead for now, even though I think he will most likely be diving into the pits now anyways. Not much of a chance of staying ahead much longer. And does speed in the pit lane as well.
Oh, contact there between Vexel and Mr. Genio. Doesn't look like it's affected either driver too badly, though.
Yeah, Vexel, of course, will have to get past Mr. Genio ASAP. He has stayed a lap longer outside of the pits than Kingsman and Fanta, and honestly, look at the difference that made. Kinda crazy, as if he had like front wing damage or something. So yeah, Fanta and Kingsman now with a big advantage. Nitro even ahead of Vexel as well. And Vexel has to battle his way past Mr. Genya, who most likely gonna be pitting in this lap. There's no real point on staying out on the old soft tires for much longer.
Yeah, looking very good for Kingsman right now. Nearly a 3-second lead over Phantominum.
Genya dive into the pits. Vexel is finally released. I mean, he took up or he ate up a 3-second lead in the beginning of the race of the top two. So, who knows if he can just do it again. Rush also staying out still. I really don't think that driving old soft tires is better at this point to prevent one more lap of mediums. But maybe he's just a tire whisperer and can easily set good pace times here with these softs.
Well, 9 laps to go, and I think the most disappointed of the drivers will probably be Tiensha, I want to say. She's P3 in the standings overall, but just hasn't gotten going this race after the initial spin.
Yeah, the second spin as well, not doing her any favors, and now she's quite far back, honestly. I did not think she was that far back time-wise. I don't know if she had like front-wing damage as well that needed to be exchanged, and that lost her like some additional few seconds. But yeah, P11 right now. Might, of course, gain some positions back through pits, but I don't think there's many drivers ahead of her who still need to pit, and Daddy and Ocean are probably too far away for her to profit of it. Rush did get out behind Tutor. Gensha with the fastest lap. I mean, maybe she still wants to get to that podium, but Yeah. For now, it would be getting the points from Mr. Genya here, who has, yeah, that 10th spot right now.
How much longer until Daddy and Ocean pit then?
Mm.
Surely nowish would be a good time.
Yeah, I'd say this lap. It's 8 to 10, bro. Dude. You said 9 before, and I was so confused, but it is actually 10 laps at this point still. And I think
Yeah, no, I
this
said
is...
9 laps gone at a certain point.
Okay. Yeah, fair.
There goes Daddy into the pits. Ocean has decided to stay out for the time being. Might be 1 lap too many.
I mean, I would have understood it if he was gonna do like a Paris and block Kingsman to eternity so that Nitro could catch back up. But Kingsman got past pretty effortless, so that didn't work at all. Maybe they're trying the same thing on Fanta. But otherwise I wouldn't know why Ocean would stay out still. I mean, he's losing 2 seconds. More than 2 seconds. Is half of the lap gone for Ocean. And he was overtaken by Kingsman at the start of this very lap. So it's like 3 to 4 seconds, probably like 4.5 seconds by the end of it, that he's losing on Kingsman per lap. Could really be coming in. Yeah, Antaminum. Hmm?
Nothing, man.
Fantaminum would have probably overtaken him anyways. Ocean also speeding into the pits. Yikes. I mean, we had a discussion about this, I think, in the Twitch chat yesterweek. Last week.
Yes, the week. That's a new one.
Hey, I mean, the logic surely applies, right? If there's yesterday, there should be yesterweek. Anyways. And I think it was with the AlphaTauri boys, and they said they'd always risk getting a 5-second penalty than losing a single or 10th by slowing down a little bit earlier. So yeah, here we are, being witnesses of that once more. So only real battle right now, I think, is Crush vs Tutu, but honestly I think Crush is kinda crushing it. And is gonna be away in a second here. Daddy is gonna be approaching Astral very soon as well. Honestly, Daddy might still have a decent shot at least P4, maybe even a podium, because his tires are now way fresher than everybody else's.
It's quite a gap to make up though. Vexel's pace seems to be fairly decent.
Daddy just drove a 119 compared. Oh well, can't really compare it well to Ocean. Just made an outlet on his outlet, but again, yeah, here for example, driving a 121. So I guess like on the upper half, Daddy's probably gaining about a second per lap, which will be tight, I guess, to catch Vexels, especially if he does not get past Astral soonish. Oh, and he gets a 3-second time penalty as well for corner cutting. That is a bit of a yikes indeed.
Now he kind of needs to get past Astral on track, which I'm assuming he will do soonish.
Yeah, honestly, I thought so last lap as well, and he has not managed yet, so maybe he's gonna wait for the DRS, which is gonna come up now on. But yeah, I really think he should have just been able to get past regardless. Tiencha also on softs now and 46 seconds behind.
Why? What was the... You only get the fastest lap point if you're in the top 10, right?
Yes, and I am not quite sure why this happened at all. Because she must have closed up to Mr. Genya at some point. She was like driving fastest lap. I think she had fastest lap regardless at that point, and she was getting closer to Mr. Genya, but I'm not sure what happened after. I did not see if there was contact or anything. Daddy passed Astral, and further back we have Tutor versus Ocean. Ocean makes it stick around the outside and goes up to P8. And Kingsman took the penalty personally, it seems, yeah. He's just driving his 5-second gap out regardless. It doesn't need the penalty removal.
Yes, he is indeed quite fast for the Challenger tier.
Yeah, I mean, someone has to be the fastest. Vexilled now getting DRS from Yensha there, who is in the process of being lapped, presumably.
Looked like there was a little bit of contact there between Vexalt and Tientia. Tientia not really willing to let Vexalt through, despite being a back marker.
I think she's faster. She overtook him this lap because she was behind him. So she will probably just zoom away now. I mean, this could honestly be a great chance for Vexilled if he can make, like, if he can follow up. To like just catch DRS and catch the other guys ahead of him a little bit. But it seems like Tiencha's already gone.
Yeah, a fair amount of a gap opening up between them.
Purple Sector 2 as well for her. So he is currently driving the fastest car on track. And Crush is slowly but steadily approaching Astral here. Slight tire advantage as well. 5 against 9 leveled mediums. And I think he has gained about half a second consistently in the last few laps. Of course, Astral was involved with Daddy a little bit, who has already gained 4 seconds on Astral himself. So P4 might not be entirely out of reach if Vexilled picks up a time penalty as well, at least.
Yes, I don't know how many warnings Vexalt is on at the moment. Let's have a look.
I mean, for now, Daddy would have to catch him first regardless. If Astral is losing time on Vexilled as well, I guess Daddy gaining time on Astral does not say that much. I think he's gained about 3 seconds, and it's only a little bit more than 4 laps to go.
Vexalt does have 2 warnings for exceeding track limits.
Okay. Well, there may be hope for the Haas. He's still gaining some time, but the mediums and softs will probably, I think, get to a point where they are about evenly fast.
Also, I can tell you from looking at the race director that Ninja Extremo considers the track to be optional. 14 seconds of penalties, well on their way to another one.
14 seconds. Oh yeah, 5 seconds for speeding the pits, I guess, and then 3 times exceeding traffic. Yeah, I mean, I can't say I have not done this in my short FS career. I can remember getting like 3 track limit penalties and F2 on Spa in the first 3 laps or so. But yeah, of course, it is a lot for one race. Yeah, Kingsman well away of his 5-second gap. Ah, there's Lewis catching one penalty as well. I think he could have maybe even caught up to Daddy as he's driving good pace right now, but that's not gonna help him much now that he has the time penalty as well. Kingsman in lap 21, everybody else go to follow. Tiensha has made it past Nitro as well. Just a shame she has a lap down on everybody else. And
there's the penalty.
Yeah, you said it before. Really, 2 warnings for him. There's the 3rd, apparently. Yeah, not really anybody in battle right now. I think Ocean might be approaching Astral here in a bit. Seems to be gaining slightly on him. Of course, I don't know if Astral knows that, but Ocean with a 5-second time penalty, so in doubt, don't even have to risk it all. If you're Astral, you're gonna get past if you stay within 2 seconds regardless.
Gonna be honest, Doom, this race has bored me.
Yeah, it's...
From my neutral perspective, I feel like we have lacked content here.
Been pretty eventless. I'm gonna be real. Jimsky's saying Herbie.
Oh god, what have I done?
Yeah, you're about to get
I will give you
stolen.
content.
Okay,
Not
okay.
like this. Not that kind of content.
To be fair,
Well, maybe.
The last Elite race I remember, there was like a 4-way fight for the win, and with like Kurtzer, Jimsky and Seagull like swapping positions 3 times per start-finish straight. But this might have been on the old game where all the like DRS and stuff has worked a little bit differently. Not sure.
Okay, well look, I'll just say, obviously I don't wish it upon drivers that, you know, they're just going to crash, because nobody wants to have their race ended in that kind of fashion. It's just the gaps that we've had here, you know. The gaps are big.
Yeah, that's true. There's not much of a fight going on anymore. Like, pit strategy has benefited Kingsman greatly. And Phantominum, of course, kind of like tossed apart that top 3 into wildly different directions. Even Nitro being 6 seconds ahead of Vexel now, even though he was like far down, or at least like a good bit down for the pits. Just been mixed up in a way that did not quite much.
So what's your least favourite Star Wars movie?
One of the original trilogy, can't lie.
You have to commit, pick one.
Bro, I barely even know what happens in which. Like, I guess, so this is with so many old things, like, people have nostalgia because they knew it, like, when it was new. But for me, when I first watched it, and I knew I started with the prequels, of course. And then I'm getting to movie 4, like, the first of the original trilogy, and I'm just sitting there and be like, why looks everything so shit? And I have never really gotten into the original trilogy. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with the chat. Doom picking an original trilogy movie over the sequel trilogy is a bold one.
To be fair, I have not seen many. I think I've seen one, but I can barely remember them. So I'm not here to judge about a movie that I have not even seen. Like, from the ones I have seen, which is the first 6, I guess.
Yeah,
it is the.
Have you not seen Rogue One?
Oh, I have seen, but Rogue One is good.
Right? Yeah, no, Rogue One is good. I wasn't going to include it in the conversation or anything. I quite liked it. I was just wondering.
No, Rogue One
Oh.
I really enjoyed. And I don't know, like, it's not like they are bad movies, the old ones. I can like watch them and appreciate them for the time they were made in as well. They're just not. I like them not more than the prequels. Prequels are my jam. and they provided the most memes, honestly. Started watching them with my girlfriend, as she has never seen them as well, and like I pretty much every 2 minutes I was like pointing at the TV and was like, oh, this is a meme.
you were the DiCaprio point in me.
Yeah, it's like literally.
I think the only reason that there wasn't memes coming from the original trilogy is just because of when it came out. Memes were not really a thing back then. There was no kind of culture like that. Otherwise, I'm sure there would have been plenty.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm honestly quite curious about the new one. I think I saw the first of the new ones when they first came out, but I have such a vague memory of it that I don't even know if it was like one of the new movies.
I guarantee any movie they come out with now is not going to be good. The time for Star Wars has passed, unfortunately.
I mean, you think so, but then every now and then there's just like some actual good new content.
No, because even The Mandalorian took a bit of a dive after the first couple of seasons.
Yeah, I mean, so does every show, right? Like, name one show that is like good for 10 seasons or something.
Friends.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of sitcoms. But hey, I was saying that as I do enjoy quite another, like, I'm not a huge fan of Friends, but we don't have to argue on that.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah,
How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, banger. These two, yeah, valid. To be honest, though, End of How I Met Your Mother was hated as frick as well.
Yeah, that's true. It was, but I don't know. That's a very small footnote in the whole grand scheme of things.
Formula One. Really hated the last few seasons, honestly. Could barely even watch episode
Lewis Hamilton
15.
was such a poorly written character.
I really think they should
no personality.
Yeah. Man, have you caught up on the last seasons? I don't know, man. It's break time. We need to set up Elite Race, and then we will be back with hopefully a little bit more action. So, see you in 7 minutes. I think the tool did tool just so be calmed.